Well guys, I hope you watched my erratum shot. Must have been more brain dead than I realized. The height of the Alamosaurus is 36 centimeters or 14.2 inches and not the 73 or 28.7 inches I stated in part 1. So, good catch for those of you who pointed it out. Now, let me bury my crime by quickly moving on to the comparisons, and we have quite a few of them. The first is a no-brainer. You guys want to see how this compares to the PNSO Alamosaurus. When PNSO revealed it was releasing Alamosaurus, rejoicing all around deflated quickly like a rug pull when the size was revealed. An Alamosaurus, you want it big. And for most of us, hopefully 1 to 35 big. And that really is going to be one major plus point for the Haolonggood, because compared to this, the PNSO is but a tiddler. Besides sheer size per se, a bigger canvas gives you more. You can see PNSO does have some really fine detail, but to be realistic, they have to be small. And when you do a huge sauropod this small, everything feels muted and attenuated and easy to overlook. In Haolonggood, these details are not just scaled up in relative terms, they've also included very fine scales in absolute terms. So what you get is a very dense visual that you'd be proud to have as a display centerpiece. A larger canvas also affords more possibilities for paint applications. We've already seen examples of that in part 1. Comparatively, the PNSO looks very simply painted. For example, in this area where the color just appears rather monotonous. Then there are the details. For example, the thumb claw. PNSO had its reason for including it in their model, but I suspect that many of you would be more comfortable without it for your derived titanosaurids. And what about these osteoderms? PNSO does have some nice detail. Like this area of raised skin from where the osteoderm erupts. But just because of the size, the Haolonggood can add so much more detail. I especially love the organic spread of these osteoderms, as I explained in part 1. It just looks more organic. Is there anything I massively love in the PNSO above the Haolonggood? Yes, the thickness of this neck. One thing I love about the titanosaurid bioplan is some of the weird and wonderful proportions proposed. But most of all for me, the kind of neck thickness I've seen only in skeletals made real here by PNSO. However, not everyone agrees on this construction, so you might not miss it. The PNSO is a very good model to have as one of your collection of very good models, but the Haolonggood is just one that's not just very good, but great. Now you guys know I love PNSO, but in sum, objectively speaking, given the size, the level and variety of texture detail, the color complexity, and a price that's only $15 more, I think the Haolonggood is the droid you're looking for. And if you can top up a small sum for the base, all the better. So, we know this is bigger than the PNSO, but is it huge? And the answer to that will really depend on what else you have in your collection for reference. So, let's get straight to the meat. Now here's my Era Terra 1 to 35 Batago Titan. Now regardless of what size estimate you use, I think you can see that while very big, our Alamosaurus today still doesn't bother on huge. And since more and more of you are getting interested in this model, and many have actually bought it from Adama, you'll definitely want to consider this. Personally, it doesn't bother me. As another example of a truly huge sauropod model, here's the old PNSO Huanghe Titan. Now this one is a true whopper, and I could never have guessed, years after its release, it still stands out as one of the most massive models ever. It's made of hollow vinyl, I believe, so not only is it light for its size, it's light period. I really hope that PNSO can find a cost-effective way to make sauropods great again. And incidentally, my viewer Rajita reminded me I should have brought this one up in the PNSO Alamosaurus review, so here's a very quick look in passing. Alright, let's get to some other macronarians I believe that more people will have. First, we have the Nanmu Watchman Brachiosaurus. You can see that actually, our Haolonggood today is more massive in terms of overall volume, more notably in the torso bulk, but also the neck. However, the Nanmu is still taller. Then we have the W Dragon Giraffe Titan, which is slenderer than the Nanmu. So the greater bulk in the Alamosaurus will be even more obvious. But like the Nanmu, however, the W Dragon still stands taller. So the point is, while our Alamosaurus today is bigger than many mainstream sauropod models, if you have some of these other ones, you may not get immediately floored by the size difference, so just wanted to set your expectations a little. Now let's downsize a bit. Let's look at some of Haolonggood's other sauropods. Now here's the Apatosaurus that impressed me so much, and to this day, I still marvel by what Haolonggood did with this one. Kind of skin detail that portended of great things to come. It's really delightful to see that Haolonggood haven't slacked off on a larger model, so when you have these models together, they look like they belong on the same shelf. Then we have the Haolonggood Ampelosaurus, another osteodermy sauropod. And truly as a testament to the notion that he who can be trusted with little can be trusted with much, because we already saw a lot of quality in this smaller sauropod. It's nice that even in a noticeably less garish treatment, our Alamosaurus still has interesting color and pattern mixes. And since we've done the Apatosaurus, you might like to see the Rebor Diplodocus as well. And for fans of Collectae, just a quick comparison now with the Mamensisaurus and the Ruyangsaurus, which I've mentioned before, could be imagined as Alamosaurus if you like. And finally, our standard PNSO Wilson and the PNSO Cameron. And just for fun, one of the smallest dinosaurs I have in 1:35, the PNSO Nanotyrannus. So that's it. Now having these roughly 1:35 high quality, popular and iconic sauropods together really makes me happy in a way I never expected to be when I thought it was all over for the 1/40th to 1/35th scale sauropods. And Haolonggood have been a big benefactor in this regard. Their quality of sculpting, paint application, spirit of continuous improvement, and willingness to engage with the fans, topped off with prices that remain reachable and palatable. Now all this creates a combination that's won over many fans since they began their comeback, and very deservedly so. They keep giving us unexpected surprises, and just in the area of the 1:35 sauropod, this teaser image is a gift of hope that keeps on giving. Alright, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video.